approved for those, so we could just take action. Because I know the Community Action Committee's been very busy trying to send out ideas and get logos and get some, or not logos, but graphics and materials ready for some of our upcoming events. So if we have the funds, then we would be able to move forward and get those things ordered in time. So I did not get an updated financial report. I know they're very short changed in City Hall. We've had some changes. Lauren is out, just so y'all know, for maternity leave, who's our point of contact typically in the planning office. So now we'll be dealing directly with the mayor's office. In the bylaws, we're only supposed to report it every 3 months. There's really been no changes, so I did not bother with that this month because they are too busy. We do have 4725 available. And that's considering the 500 we have set aside for brick paver installation. Quickly, we did get we got 2 more requests for engraved pavers. So we have sold 2 more bricks this month. And then, so I ordered those, and then also an outstanding donation or sponsorship from last year. We've got their brick ordered too. So there'll be 3 more coming, just to update y'all for that. Okay, so March 17th, we had our spring tree giveaway. I think that was a big success. And we wound up having thousands of trees. Thank you, Scott. So you want to update us really? Is there anything you want to update on?
We kind of lost, we didn't know how many we started with because we had so many trees. We gave away over 700 the day of the event, even though it was cold and windy and kind of miserable for those of us working, and we still gave away a lot of trees. We had quite a few left over. We had some people contact us through social media interested in getting some more, so we let them just come to my office and pick up trees. And we actually found homes for all of the remaining trees except maybe like 400 pine trees.
Yeah, they're going to go back. Right?
It happens.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Because there were I don't know if you realize, Scott, that there were 400 cypress trees in each of those bundles. I think we thought they were 100.
I thought there was 100, yeah. There was supposed to be 100.
There were
we ordered 100, I guess, and there was 2 bags that said 400 on them.
We had 2,000 cypress trees.
Oh, wow. You take them out to the geese center.
They were taken, and I assume if somebody took them, they put them in the ground. So
awesome.
Yeah, because they went out of their way to come the next week and pick them up too. So
yeah, awesome.
I got 2, and they're already starting to grow little buds. I'm very excited.
So I think it was all very positive. I will say, and I think we should put something on our Facebook about this. There will be a free tree giveaway in Greenbrier this Friday at their City Hall. I think it's from 10 to noon, and it's the Ag Department Free Tree Friday. And I think we should promote that because it doesn't have to be Greenbrier residents, so anybody from Conway who didn't get a tree at our event.
And we did have Greenbrier residents reach out for hours after the fact too. So
When did you say that was?
It's this Friday, from 10 to noon at Greenbrier City Hall.
Good deal. And I'd say, as far as hindsighting, I think we got our flow in terms of organization. I think we could have a little more tree education on the part. Just in the front end, there were really great questions that came to us.
Yeah, we talked about promoting kind of each tree, the attributes of each tree beforehand, the different varieties.
There's potential for that. A lot of happy residents. We did post one of folks who've gotten trees in the ground, and there's another post I saw out there I need to share that we were tagged in. So we are getting some pictures in, not a lot, but we're getting some pictures in, which is good.
I sent a picture of the red mulberry I have to the Messenger account. I don't know if anybody's, I don't know how that works, but yeah.
We'll go in and take a look at that.
It's got leaves.
Yeah. And the other part on my end is there were requests to have something on the weekend, which I know it gets a little tough, thinking about if
we might
can't
have an easier
one in
time
the
getting some
spring.
volunteers also because
Right. So that would be the other part. Would think if we can either do a 2-day event. I know it serves extension office purposes really well to be able to do it on site during on hours. And maybe in the spring, we continue to do it on a weekday, but then Arbor Day, one or the other, have one on the weekend or.
Well, we don't have to do it at the extension office. I mean, we've done it there just because then we have access to bathrooms and stuff like that. Well, and we have the covered porch, because if it was raining or something. But there might be a park or someplace like that we could do it too.
But we'll can think about that before next year. Any other hindsighting or feedback you guys would like to share?
I do love that we had families coming to us and saying what produces some berries and things for the wildlife and stuff like that. So it was sustainability related.
Oh gosh. And the clear cutting. I mean, I am here because all of my trees are gone on my property and we want to put some back on there. So whether they were a little bit more city proper, and we did here, which kind of spurred my thought, anywhere from half an acre to 10 acres. So right sizing those trees, it was really important to have you there and have that information of size and what's right tree, right place. So in terms of what we buy and what we have readily available, we need to think large and small.
Well, I would love to have some smaller trees available, if smaller stature trees. They weren't available.
For lack of effort, that's
It seemed like everyone wanted ones that were pretty. That was
I mean,
everybody wants red mulberry. It went so fast.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. 'Cause
Red-
as soon as we
red
posted about
buds
that
would
was
be
immediate.
great.
Red buds would be awesome.
So maybe this next year.
Yeah, sure.
I think the
Those are
idea
great.
of everybody who's volunteering get a little bit of education about the trees before the event would help, so that we all knew. Because partway through we were listening to what you had said, and by that time we were like, okay, we know what trees need to go into wet places, we need what trees to go into dry places, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But knowing beforehand would have been really nice.
I think on the little handout, or the little thing that we had posted for each tree, we may even look at doing red mulberries for dummies, and that way it would be just a really basic rundown of hey, this is pretty in fall, it'll be red.
Yeah.
This because I know that another question was which roots go down versus which roots go out. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But that got asked several times by different people, and it was just I don't know, man. Why don't you just get this one?
Pretty much all tree roots go out. So that idea that trees have tap roots is false.
I love the idea for future reference in putting those informational pieces somewhere where they can look and see without blocking the flow of other people who've made the decision and are ready to get their trees.
I think next time that we'll be able to have a little bit more time for a social media deal to really present which ones that we're going to have.
Well, even if we had enough volunteers and space and stuff like that, we could do the Chick-fil-A model where you order in one place and you pick up in another, so you can be looking at the menu, and making your decision. Because that was a problem. We had people up at the front making their decision, or people behind them maybe knew what they wanted.
Good. Well,
And I think something was mentioned there was we should next time have color pictures instead of, and possibly pictures of what they look like in the spring and then what they look like in the fall too. But that's for next year. One little thing.
The thing is, you could have a whole book on each one.
It's so easy, right? Yeah.
Well, I think it was
Go to
helpful
your
this year.
bookstore.
For being really, this was our first event. Last year was the free tree giveaway sponsored by the Department of Ag. It was a great turn, but it was in 2 hours, it was crazy. I mean, I got there to help. It wasn't even happening. And we had lots of experts on hand.
It's interesting because it would be easier if we had fewer tree varieties, because it's just less less choices. But we also want to be promoting diversity of our trees, so I'm not sure.
I think this was a good I guess my point in saying that was this was a great year to kind of vet what are the questions, what are people going to want to know, what do we want to know, and so I just have to say kudos to the team, and you were stretched in I don't know how many places throughout the entire event, so your skill set is always impressive, but the response.
You guys were really fast.
I was going to say, we kind of jumped in there pretty quick. People got there early. So I think, with just this little bit, we'll put these things down so we can remember in terms of planning next year. And I do want to say kudos because y'all hit the ground running with the first event with very little notice, and thank y'all. I consider that a great success, and so I appreciate all of you. Okay, so we're going to move right along from that, and just say quickly, I know yoga is planned for April. It is going to be the 21st at 5:30 p.m. in Laurel Park. Skylar shared that post today, so if y'all will share far and wide that as well, because we do want to generate more participation for that. So we do have kind of a cadence of marketing and content that will go out for that this month, simultaneous with the tree climbing championship.
So it's going to be in the same location.
Laurel Park North End, and we'll send out some more logistics and detail.
Would it be possible to make sure that the electric outlet at the gazebo works before that event?
Yeah, I can ask somebody.
Because it did not last year, and it was a little bit of a...
Well, actually, this year I already have a playlist, and I have a Bluetooth Milwaukee speaker that is.
Oh, so you don't need...
So I think I'll just be charged and ready to
Actually,
go.
now that I think about it,
Yep.
I've got it. Okay, so we don't need it. What is it?
Stop.
Do we need a microphone? But we need a microphone, right? They need two sound systems, one for the mic and one for the music. I've got a Bluetooth, though it's like a karaoke thing, but it's only, I got a handheld. Which would be awkward when doing it. Figure it out.
We'll think on that too, because I didn't really think about the instructor, because we've not really needed.
The first year she did have mine.
Did she? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we'll.
But last year we didn't, because last year we had music because I had the one Bluetooth rechargeable one, but the mic one needed
Power. So stay on the power thing.
Yes.
For
Well, we'll have this as a backup.
Stick with
just in
power.
case. So
Okay, that would be
I'll
great.
reach out to Trey and all them and see
Okay.
what we can do with that.
Okay. So I do want to ask, we do need to determine the dates for May and June. So we can quickly look at, and I know we're not going to do it at Laurel Park. I did just reach out. Of course, I did it today, and I'm sorry I waited till the day of meeting. Sometimes things slip by me. However, reached out to see if MLK Park would be a possibility in June. Not sure if we can do anything there yet, or thinking that or Fifth Avenue Park, part of our desire is to grow diversity in terms of people who interact with us, having representation that matters. So I'm seeking a Black yogi for that month in particular in June. We do have one who supported us the past 2 years. She's out of Little Rock. So in fairness, I was going to see if we could get a Conway. If not, I know we do have a great connection in Little Rock that could help us. But I'd like to get, so if anyone knows of yogis in Conway, I'm reaching out right now. But would love to, in terms of marketing and outreach for every month, but specifically, we want to target different areas and different demographics in our community. So that's the thought for June. May, I'm open. I know we can do Gatwin Park, Fifth Avenue Park. We could do Simon Park, maybe downtown.
I still think Cadron would be beautiful.
Oh, Cadron. I'm sorry, Cadron.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So how does everyone feel about Cadron, and do we think people will drive out there to participate?
Yeah, it's
in
only
yoga?
it's a little further. I mean, Beaver Fork's possible too. Pretty views.
Like Cadron, I really do.
Let's do that. Let's try it. I mean,
Right,
we're going to ask
might as well
for
put Beaver Fork too as an idea.
permission to get that. Cadron settlement. Yeah, that's good. So we'll try there.
Like in that lawn right there near.
Now, is this when you want to try the Saturday morning idea?
That would probably be.
I would like to try Saturday.
Especially in like.
I have to admit, I worry about the Friday evening. Just
Well, and we were going to do Laurel Park, but the color run is actually the day on Earth Day that morning, so the park was already taken. So we went back to that Friday night. But so Saturday AM in May in Cadron. And do y'all have any date suggestions? I was going here.
The 13th is Mother's Day weekend, just to be aware of.
and
Yes.
tree climbing competition is the 6th.
And the 6th. So I thought towards the end of the month, maybe right before Memorial. Is it Memorial Day? Is that the first one?
So the 20th,
Yeah,
the
that'd be the
27th.
27th.
Well, and it's the Master Gardener plants that
It's the 13th. Is
Yeah,
this
so
one.
that Mother's Day
Let's say I have that.
already.
So then the
I have that on my calendar too.
No,
Master
not
Gardener
on the
plant sale.
12th. let's look at, I cannot do May 20th.
I think the 27th, that's the one before Memorial Day. That's a good one.
That sound good to y'all?
It would be that. Yeah, we can go for the 27th.
You think that's good to pair with the holiday weekend?
It's got
End of
equal
school.
ups and downs because people may be starting their holiday events on that Saturday, but also it means that people get to close a book on school and are available for those things.
And
I
also,
think-
I
I think
don't have
about
to be there
capturing-
for yoga. Let me pause. I don't have to be there. So if y'all would
Yeah.
like to do it on the 20th, it'll just be Sans Tracy.
You know, Catherine's actually nicer in the evening. Is the sense. It's,
It doesn't matter.
I mean, we could do that if you want to do Friday evening. Either way, we want to do it sometime when it's cooler, not like the middle of the day.
I mean, I can ask and see what's available, and that way, if we're good with trying to do it the 26th or the 27th, you know, let's say
Yeah.
something's going on one of those days, we'll have one of those as a backup as far as
Yeah.
that goes. And so,
And if we need to move it to the 20th, I don't know if that's better for the collective group. No? Okay. All right then. All right, yeah, if you'll let us know about that,
Okay.
would be great.
we'll shoot for one of those. Then we would rather, what would we rather have? If both are available, do we want to try for the Saturday morning, or with that particular location, keep it with Friday?
people are probably more likely to come on a Saturday morning. I think about like the fun runs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Always Saturday morning.
So we'll shoot for that Saturday at 9.
We could do a fun run under the trees too.
Oh, we have so many ideas. Disco, everything can happen at a concert for the trees. Like it's, you know. Okay, perfect. And then can we just look at June quickly, and is there a better weekend for others than?
I mean, if you're trying to stick with like holiday weekends, what do you have? Father's Day and then Juneteenth. So like you have the 17th would be like that little deal there.
Mhm. So I was kind of thinking 17th at like 9 a.m. It'd be great if we could have it downtown. I'd just love to have it. Of course, I just want to get in MLK Park or whatever. But I know it's not available yet. So what's a secondary location?
That one was Fifth Avenue
Fifth Avenue?
Park. Yeah.
Okay. And we feel good about, and what did we just say, the 17th?
Yeah.
Okay. 9 a.m. Okay. And then I will let you know I'm following up. I've already reached out to a couple of folks for yogis. We would like to just have not make it about any one person, but get a few people involved. So
Now for that
I'll
one,
ask around.
if say we get that date approved, do we want to like advertise the date, but maybe not the location, just in case something does come up, or you could use MLK or something, we could then switch? Or do you feel pretty good that that's not going to be available by then?
I don't know. We'll hear back from Shawana. I reached out to her. It wasn't available for renting or reserving last time we checked in, but she thought maybe by the end of April.
Just maybe.
Maybe, but let's think on that, because we could, and immediately after the yoga in April, we could share, and here are the next two opportunities to come.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and that's probably what you just said. Yes, let's do that.
Well, when it comes to like bad weather, right? It's like, but I mean, is the plan just if the weather's not good, we just cancel?
I mean, unless we want to set up with the yogi an alternate date and location, we could do that. But let's just hope the weather's going to be
it'll be
fine.
fine.
Yeah.
I think
It's
with
worked
us
out the last
having
few times.
Yeah.
So I'll have a bunch of little pop-up tents.
I know, I was like, well, where could we go that has like rain cover or a facility, but that kind of defeats the point of like being out at the
Yoga in the
trees.
rain.
yoga,
Yeah.
there you go.
With your mom.
And your dad. We got both.
Which sounds just like a blast.
They do yoga with goats. Why not with the rain?
Yeah, it just wouldn't be the same to like move it to like one of the sports center. Like it's not yoga under the trees.
And then it would be
Start to stray
hazardous
and
if
it
it is
becomes a yoga
raining.
activity.
And the rain could make it a little hazardous too, like if the mat
Yeah.
gets slippery. I don't know that we really want to do something like that. Added liability. So, okay. All right then. What else about yoga? We're gonna look at stickers here in just a little bit. I created some really cool ideas for that. We just need a quick thumbs up
Oh, yeah.
on that. I don't know if y'all wanna do that now, or if we wanna continue on. We can do kind of voting on graphics and stuff later.
Do we
We wanna
want to
do it now.
go back to like community action committee, select several and we present the rest of them to the board, or we just want to go through it now with the whole board and be like, hey,
Well,
what do you like, what do you not like?
yeah, I mean, this is our opportunity, like this
Okay.
is the last one.
Oh, right, it is, yeah.
Especially for the natural state, but there's some natural state tree climbing stuff in there too, so we don't wanna really
Yes.
pull that out now. But I did, for sake of paper, even though it's renewable, we did send up, there's one on each table for us, if y'all wanna look at that really quickly. I don't know which ones I
I
like.
like them all.
I know, I do.
So we have to choose
And y'all-
like certain, I just trust you guys.
No,
I'm like,
really,
or
it's just
that's what
like
I'm
we
like,
can
or y'all
make
wanna
all of
approve
them.
it, take a look at, if there's anything in here that you do not like, how about tell us
So we can make all
that,
of them if we want
or
to.
that you would not, because we'll have to
Let's
look
say
at budget
like
and
these are the-
quantities and make a decision on
They said they were
those.
The square things are
Yeah.
sample
Yeah.
posts and the circle
Yeah,
things
well,
are
yeah.
stickers.
I deleted that one, and I sent you some more, but it might have been too late before you.
Yeah, yeah, I don't
Okay,
like
I
that
missed
one.
I think the background on this would be really bad.
Yeah, and I just don't like,
Okay.
eat, sleep, trees. Eat, sleep, trees doesn't really seem like a
So we'll
good.
be in that amphitheater area?
The eat, sleep, trees one was like, yeah, it's busy, but also like, I don't really think the message is that
Yeah.
effective.
And that's not really for yoga, this is not for yoga, I think we were just also sharing like what are
Oh, we're
some
Yeah, that
doing
was
just
like a
oh, we're doing just
general-
yoga right now.
like
Okay, yeah,
this
yeah.
one, there's even a yay trees for
Oh, I love that,
Krista,
yeah.
because we know we want yay trees on some business.
Yeah, I like,
Yeah.
other than the
Yeah,
tropical
tree
one, I like all the rest of these.
Yeah, and you're welcome.
That's in the two, that's in the
Check
two.
through any of that if you want, and see if you have any
Yeah.
comments. So I would say the only one, and we
And then
know
I
he's
was
already
like,
updated, would be the palm tree, it's a little
sticker.
No, the
Yeah.
geometry.
for.
Because now that I've got the
I like the
logo,
rest of
because it's
it.
got the logo here, even though I changed like the actual font of it to match this font. But that's trying to keep the trees, and then here the logo.
Okay.
There's one variety of palm tree that's already here.
And then
Windmill.
Windmill.
this one I just
They're
kept that.
short. But some people will
Yeah.
Even though this is one I would.
Some people will,
personally
like,
delete, but-
have larger ones when they wrap them. And
So we can always add this one too.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of work.
But then like, see, like you have some, like this one right here, like that one looks so clean. We probably did so much.
And I guess
like
from
that
city
one.
perspective, if there's anything that would be.
So some of the, and like here, I think that looks great.
Oh,
Oh, you still have like the trees, just like as far as there.
Yeah.
the city,
Make sure
the
it
city
doesn't-
has
If
cared.
you like hold it upside down or sideways, does it say
There's
something?
not like a secret message.
No.
This is how we end up with a new director.
No pressure. Yeah. So does everyone feel okay about those? We know which ones we want to omit from that, and if y'all trust us, then we'll make a best decision and get those ordered. So,
Nothing hurts our feelings. So if you don't like the
Yeah.
color, you're like, hey man, can we make this in brown or can we make this in purple or whatever?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I did already.
and and I don't know if this is a good segue if we want to keep talking through and then look at budgets, because I have assigned, really, I looked at the amounts that our available balance, and looking at the 3 yoga events, have set aside $175 for each of those. I think just based off of turnout, our yogis, we're paying them $100 for that 1-hour session, so most of the costs will go to that, but wanted to leave a little bit money aside for if we need to boost any post, and then also for any giveaways. So any printed like educational materials, these stickers or anything like that. I figure collectively, we're not gonna have to have a big pool of stuff for that. So about $75, or well, $225 for the marketing and promotional items for those. So can we vote on and approve a budget, or does someone have another recommendation for budgets for these? About $175 each.
Sounds good to me. If we need more, we can come back and ask for more, but that sounds like a good approval for now.
Can you make a motion for that?
I make a motion to accept $175 for each event.
Perfect. Second,
Second that.
all in favor? Any opposition? Good. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the Natural State Tree Climbing Championships. If there's nothing more about yoga right now, because they're fairly easy to do and pull off.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. And then our group, the action committee, will get together, because I know we have to order those probably within the next week or so. So it may be emailed, we'll make a collective decision and get those things. Is that okay? Okay. All right. So Tree Climbing Championship, Yahoo, May 6th and 7th. We know 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. We did have a meeting, the Community Action Committee had a meeting, and I have a task list of things set up for us to accomplish before that event. We've already had several things happen, so I do want to say Conway Corp was very supportive to get back to us very quickly of sharing their logo for promotion. They are our biggest sponsor, so absolutely we want to put them out there, our partner. And then also some folks from the Forestry Commission, Council,
Urban Forestry Council.
Urban Forestry Council came for the video. They did the Here and Now shows. I don't know if you want to speak to those, kind of what's been happening with that.
Did you go to the interview?
I did not.
Okay, I didn't either. So.
And it was recorded, so it'll be the Here and Now show will be aired in the month of April. I did see today they asked for like some video or photos or something.
Yeah, they didn't respond back if the Facebook stuff would be good enough. So,
so there's a few more details, but the interview portion has already happened. We had Chad who came in.
yeah, Chad Bryant is the owner of Tree Gorilla Tree Service out of Benton, I believe, and he's one of the organizers of the competition. So he did, and he serves on the Urban Forestry Council board, and so he did the interview. And he's a climber and an organizer of the event. Like he knows more about it than we know. So I think he probably did it, and he speaks really well. I think he probably did a very good job.
So he was there, and that'll be aired in April. So as soon as we find that out, we'll share that with you guys, and then we probably post and share and do something more around it too. But that's good exposure for that. They did also agree to let us do a commercial for that. So there were some PSA guidelines that they sent over. I just need some support, or if anyone is available to help put that information together, so we can do that.
You and I need to. So Urban Forestry Council, they were. And did Colby reach out to you? Okay, because she wasn't sure if she was supposed to do something. So I think work with her should be good, but I need to put you in contact.
Okay. So Colby, so they'll probably do it.
They can, but she wasn't sure.
Okay.
So do you just need somebody to pull the stuff
Yes.
together, the guidelines together?
Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate
Yes,
it.
I will finish watching the
Opening
meeting
night.
and get our notes and stuff like that.
Thank you so much. Okay, so I'll touch base with and Colby's female. But no, there's support there too, and we'll be able to have a commercial on the channel as well. If we can get that together. What else has happened?
So do you just need somebody to like go through the guidelines and like make an outline or something, or?
I think Colby will do it
Oh, okay.
as long as she knows what we.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think the important parts is to show that we're partnering with them, we're hosting, bringing it to town, a little bit about why it's important for us to come to town, and then mostly it's all about them. Encourage attendance. Yeah, absolutely. Anything else y'all can think of that we might want to put for the tree board's behalf?
I mean, I've been trying to stress, that these are professional arborists, and so, part of their, point is we're, showing off the skills of these professional arborists.
It's not just amateur people going to climb some trees. It's real
Well, and,
professionals.
like, who do you want working on the trees and, hanging over your valuable property? Do you want a professional who has all these skills and training? Or do you want just...
And Shani did, and we'll look here in a little bit because we do have, in terms of like marketing for content, it'll be education about why is it important, what is an arborist, what's their role. So there will be some content coming out
So
about
some of
that
that
too.
can like definitely be
Yeah, there's a
added,
good
or
one
if it's
here.
too wordy, it could, whatever. Those were just examples upon my research, so.
And it's, yeah, the hashtag is Conway trees instead of Conway tree board, right?
Yes.
Somebody mentioned that in one of the
Yeah.
email
Yes.
change.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Email chains, I can't remember which one.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
We've had a lot. There's a lot of threads. So there will be marketing content that comes out about that too. I will tell you in terms of exhibitors right now, the commitments that we have for people who will come. We do have the UCA geography group that's going to come out with their tree rings. That was a huge hit during Arbor Day, very educational and interesting.
And I think the arborists will enjoy that.
Yeah. So they're going to come. We're going to talk about the Monticello, the forestry, let me get this right, the Arkansas Center for Forest Business out of Monticello that did some great information for us. They did do the evaluation of the urban tree benefits for Conway. You'll have a cool info sheet. We're not going to talk about this or dig in because next month it's going to be presented to us by their group. But they have also, well, I mention it now, they also would like to come and have a table there to share their findings and help educate, which would be wonderful to be community facing and have them. They did the data, the research. They are the ones who are handling that. So it's great to have them say that first person. So they've agreed to come out there as well. I did also reach out to Hendricks, to their student outreach coordinators. They've had several change in positions, so that's my third try to reach out to see if we can get some of their clubs, groups, organizations. Their master naturalist were at Arbor Day, so we're reaching out to try to get them too. So I have communication out with Hendricks. I also have communication out with two more groups who were at our Arbor Day event that would make sense for them to come out. Have not heard back yet, so stay tuned on that. And if we don't have a lot of activities and exhibits, I think that's okay
I think
too.
it's okay.
We just
I
would
think
rather
just a
have more
little bit of
quality than-
presence.
Yeah, I think it's the quality instead of just going for a number of tables. There's so much activity that'll be out there already. We just want to be a small complement. Plus, we need to manage. So in terms of the event, they'll have their thing going on. Anything that we do needs to be self-contained, and we will manage that ourselves. Still waiting to find out when they're going to go back to Hendricks to walk the campus so we can understand logistics and how we need to roll that out. So stay tuned on that. I'll let you guys know. So if anyone's available and has the desire, y'all can go out there and walk it with us too and be out there. Food trucks, I have reached out to a few folks, and they are busy already for the weekend. Y'all may have seen my Facebook. I just did a big blast of, hey, food truck folks.
So did Hendricks say it was okay?
So they have to approve them, so that's why I really want them to get in quickly. I'm assuming they must be insured, self-taxed, they're gonna have to be
They have to
totally
have the health
self-contained.
department.
The health department sanitation. That will also mean that we would have to have probably, I can't remember the specs on this, but whenever we did food trucks with EcoFest, you have to have hand washing stations within so many feet of that, and so many per person. So there might be a little more to come with that. I don't know if that would be probably not something that Hendricks would supply. But possibly if we rent them.
Although if you have a building that's open and has bathrooms and running water, does that not count?
Maybe.
So
I
sorry.
was gonna say if they'll let them in.
They're planning on letting,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the bathrooms being used for.
Yeah, and that's kind of the rain plan too. That recital hall, I think, is going to be there and be open. I think it's more about the hand washing and sanitation for some reason. We probably could get away
So
with
the
one. I think they're about $150
Yeah, they're
the
not
last
much.
time we had to rent them.
Yeah, they're not much.
Delivered and everything. So I do have a question about that, and then also the Department of Sanitation reaching out to see if we need extra like trash bins and stuff, because I don't know if Hendricks is going to handle
I
that.
think, so we actually, when we first met with Hendricks, we asked about trash and they didn't seem to think it was a big deal. So.
They'll have all the
But if
stuff
food
in
trucks
there.
might change.
Yeah. So I'll do, and I'll ask him a couple more questions about that. And we really don't need many food trucks. I think maybe 2 or 3 would be max, just to have a little diversity of options. And then in case we don't want them to be too overwhelmed with that. But we also want them to be profitable. We don't want to have too many folks to make it worth their while. So just know food trucks are in action. I did also post, I reached out to Hendricks, to their group, to try to get some volunteers. I also put it in UCA's Give Pulse. That's a volunteer place to sign up. I know it'll be managed through their group. So I've directed any volunteerism to use their form, sign up with them so that they can track and assign them. I figure we will solicit more volunteers if we need to, should we get more exhibitors or food, if it looks like we need some volunteers beyond what we can do, we'll solicit in a different way for ourselves.
My one concern about the food trucks is, so the competition is used to providing meals for
Volunteers.
and the competitors. So they'll still want to do that, like, but will they order from the food trucks, or are those people that we should not plan on, using the food trucks?
That was kind of my concern and my thought with not having too many, but enough. I was thinking maybe someone who's like drinks and breakfast focused, and then a couple of lunch options. They said typically 200 observers is what they see, right? And I don't know how to calculate how many people to expect. If Toad Suck will help, we're going to detract.
Are we doubling up on something that already has been covered with Toad Suck Festival?
That's the thing. Like, people can
right.
walk down the street, and there will be food trucks.
That was something I was thinking about. We could get some signs made up to like put up in Toad Suck and like some of the intersections that say, hey, just walk down Front Street. There's a tree climbing competition down here. You might check it out.
So is your concern that maybe we shouldn't have trucks? Is that what you're saying?
That's my concern. Is that takes care of the concern for hand washing stations, that takes the concern about trash, because we're not adding a component that needs trash service. And people are going to, I do believe that anyone who's going to go to this will also go to Toad Suck.
Yeah.
So
It's not a bad idea.
we're doubling up on our efforts.
Let's see, you've already
I'm
reached
not-
out to some food trucks. Let's see if any of them are actually interested, and then go from there.
I would just hate for someone to get hungry, leave us, and then not make it
Yeah.
back. Because it's a jaunt, it's a wait. I don't know if y'all have done a food truck at Toad Suck in a while. And it's a great event, but there is a large population of folks who.
And we say you can walk down, but it's a pretty long walk, actually.
Well, it's a long walk and it's a wait. So
Yeah.
it's a walk and a wait. And so I was thinking convenience. And then the other thought is, I'd have to look and see who's available to do it. But I know one year we had a natural market come out, and they just had like concession type, like beverages and like prepackaged snacks instead. So I mean, that might be an option instead of doing full food trucks. If you wanted to consider that, we might could do that too, because those are all really valid.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So my question is about, like we talked about doing the tree ID walk. What time sounds best for that? Because we'll want to add that as like one of the
Sorry, I should have
activities.
added that in there. Tree ID walk. Yes.
I mean, is there a time during their schedule where there will be a break other than lunch, I guess? Or
And I don't think they don't really take a break at lunch.
Sounds like it's
It's just kind of
simultaneous.
going on all day.
I don't know if y'all have watched the videos. Has anyone else seen the videos from previous? Okay.
Where did you find the
Because I was
videos?
curious of what even there's like this big tarp for the master challenge. Like there's some secrecy going on.
Yeah, they don't want
You can't
people to
what they're
see.
doing.
They don't want people to see what the last.
What the last one is. And so, I mean, so they had, I found it, was on their Facebook page. I'll try to send a link to everyone. It was on their Facebook page for their event, and they had previous years. I went back a couple of years, and I think there was more interactive video, not this last one, but which are all good video, but to see kind of what the competitors were doing. And there was activity around, and they have like caution tape around certain trees, and then certain things are behind tarps, but it was pretty simultaneous. I mean, it was just kind of
All of the events are
going
going on
at
at the same
time.
I've been to one.
And so, you know, in terms of tree ID walk, when is a good time to do it?
I'm
I
like
think
maybe
probably
earlier in the day.
10 in the morning?
Yeah, 10:30 is what I was thinking.
I would
Sorry, go ahead.
I would think, if I had a young family, I would want to do the thing that could exert energy safely first, so that I could do the other things better throughout the day. So I would do the ID walk, because that is physically and mentally engaging, and then the kids would be suited for toad suck and the climbing competition.
So do you think even earlier than 10 then?
I wouldn't go much earlier than 10.
I think
10 is probably
10:30 is probably the best. Is this going to be both days we do that, or just one
I
day?
think just Saturday. And I did get David Sutherland. He is a professor at Hendrix, although he's not in biology, but he had a part in doing their tree inventory, and he said that he'll be at the tree walk also to give information about the tree inventory and why they do that. And also, he can point out some of their more unique trees and things like that that maybe I don't even know where they are.
And then I thought we have a nice companion to that. We have the tree adoption certificates, little journals and pencils for those who go through that. Maybe that,
Oh,
because we've tried to have this activity a couple of different ways at festivals we've been at. And so unless you have a skilled person to go out and measure the tree and do all of these things, and we really have to get their attention. Once we get them to the tree to do the activity, great feedback, they love it. Getting people to go to the tree to do the activity is kind of where we're struggling. So I think that might be a nice follow-up to, they've done their tree walk and now they can either take it home, they can do it on the spot or whatever. So I might can incorporate that too as an activity with that. Okay. The other easy activity that we might could have would be leaf rubbings. If we could get those, we just need to
The
buy
plastic.
ourselves the little.
We do. So I still have the ones. Like, I think I use them more than Harold does.
I was like,
we probably should just purchase our own.
We have a ton of crayons. It's just an easy activity to set up, and they do little tree or little leaf rubbings and stuff. And we have these plastic ones because
They're easier.
And they're easy to keep track of. But that might be if we think we may have a bunch of kids come, that'd be something even on the fly to pull out just as a busy work activity for the kids too.
Well, and I keep bringing in the bad part, but toad suck's kind of known for rain.
Yeah.
So, is it the same thing? Like, just if it rains, we probably won't have these exhibits and activities.
Yeah.
The climbing will still happen.
I was going to say they're going to continue.
The climbing will still happen unless there's lightning.
Yeah.
So do we want to plan if it's raining that we will not? Will that be the communication? This is a fair weather event for our purposes. Okay.
I think so. I mean, isn't that what we don't?
I think so because if
We'll
it
have
rains, even though
paper
there's a location for them, they're going to need that space. And again, we're here just as a compliment. This is their deal. So I don't want to detract from what they may need if it rains and take up extra space.
That event does occur during the peak rain season of the state orchestra.
Yes.
I think once in
Guaranteed. We're going to have it on one day or the other.
I think once in 40 years has been a toad suck where it didn't rain at all. Just once.
Sometimes there's torrential flooding in downtown.
Oh, yeah.
So you probably already heard.
Always part of the fun.
Can I get some clarity on the rain aspect? Are we talking if there's a chance of rain, or if it rains because oftentimes it rains and then it's sunny? So
Those are always hard calls.
I would say if it's forecast to be like rain all day, that's one thing. If it's forecast to be, raining in the morning and then like good in the afternoon, we may just show
We
up in
can
the
delay.
afternoon.
I think we
Yeah.
can delay.
Or we may close
And
it
we'll just
early.
make some kind of post on Facebook if we delay.
okay. I was going to say, do we need to have like a text blast or anything? Or
I'm obsessed with the weather, so I'll be watching it for sure. So I'll let you know. Like we'll probably know about 10 days in advance whether it's going to rain or not. We'll see. Definitely by 7 days. Sorry, I'm a weather guy.
I'm not sure what we decided.
I think those decisions are just hard, but I think we'll do the best we can. And then let people know on Instagram and Facebook what the plan is.
So logistically, another question. So tables and chairs will not be provided by Hendrix. So for the people who are coming to set up to be exhibitors with us, we would need to supply the tables and chairs. I didn't know if the extension office supplies are available to us. If not, I can reach out. Verco has been supportive in the past.
We can take the extension tables. Our chairs are not very convenient to take because they don't fold or anything. But we can do that. But we'll need somebody with a truck to
Probably not many, I would think.
Well, it looks like we're gonna have
10.
3-4 tables.
Like the leaf rubbings are 2 tables. I mean, I would say no more.
The only thing I'll need to do is I'll need to check on our facility calendar and just see if anything else is going on in our building or maybe stealing tables from them.
Possibility is that wider.
Yeah, they don't have any.
Okay, never mind. Yes, it'd be great if we could get those. If not, we'll reach out. So if you'll check on that, let me know in the next week or two, then I'll reach out to Verco and see if maybe they can support the library. We've done it previously too. I think we can source some because we're not going to need that many. But I would say probably, so Willow's group, I think, had 2 tables, no more than 10, probably, max, not many. So, okay. Okey-dokey.
And I would say for we the volunteers, you might be better off bringing your own lawn chair. It's more comfortable.
Actually, we need to suggest that in our marketing and communication to people to bring.
I put that in those questions and answer things about the event was to bring a lawn chair.
Okay.
But for spectators too, chairs are.
Okay. How are we doing on time, speaking of that, 5:19? Okay, so the other part too, so I think it would behoove us to sponsor, give some sponsorship money to this event too. We've not talked about financially supporting them. The other part I was thinking about is how do we gain attention for this event in a compliment to Toad Suck. And so I thought 2 banners, one on either side of Hendrix would be a nice way. There are still some questions out there, but it looks like there's potential for us to get them out in advance of the event, and we'll have to determine locations. But I think front and back, for lack of better words, of Hendrix. One might have to go to Hendrix Village because I don't think they allow anything in the roundabout off of Harkrider close, but so it would go kind of in the village green space. And then on the back side, or kind of where front meets Washington, where the event's going to happen, it would be nice if we could put up.
That's a nice place to put.
There's so much traffic, and to just put that there. So I would like to propose that we support and buy 2 banners. That will probably cost us about $350. The other part, so thinking in terms of what we may need for activities, if we wanted to buy some pizzas for our volunteers, if we have some and need those, thinking about promotional items and giveaway. I kind of budgeted, I did budget $700 for this event for us. Does that sound?
Does that include
the banners? That will include the banners.
Does that include the swag or whatever merchandise we're giving away?
Yes, and we're going to
Okay.
talk about that here in just a
Okay.
little bit too. And so we'll have to be mindful of how much money we're spending and how many things we're giving away. And do bear in mind, this is their event. They will also be selling T-shirts, which is their fundraiser for future events. So we do not want to detract from anything that they are doing.
I would avoid t-shirts.
Yeah, I would be
Yeah.
waiting shirts for this
But
one.
we're thinking small things, and Amy did a really good job of getting some quotes together for us and just some small giveaway items that make sense. And then, of course, we know we're going to buy into some stickers for other things. We have some leftover. I even looked, we've got years of old T-shirts, like just gimmies, stuff like just
Let's
going
just
through what
dig
we
everything
already
out.
have and then going through,
Where do you
I don't
store
know.
that stuff? Where do you store that stuff?
That's our secret. No, I'm just kidding. It's in the extension office.
My office.
Dig everything
Combined
out and
shared
give it away.
storage for many things. We say a lot. We got like 2 boxes and totes of stuff, but,
By the way, there's still a Tree City road sign in my office that we discussed locations and
we'll put it back up.
we need to, take that
I just need to get that to is it Spencer? I need that.
it was Spencer, so
Because I have to get the bricks. When I get the bricks, I will grab the street sign and they will all go collectively to the physical plant. But I know we did decide on location.
Well, we haven't gotten our newest stickers yet. Just need to figure that out at time to do, because I was at Harold's office and I'm like, should I take those? And he's like, well, I wanted to do a picture.
Yeah, I did see Fayetteville had a really cool marketing.
Where they were
them
putting
their
the sticker
on
up,
there.
yes.
And the one on Salem, even if we don't get the new ones out, the one on Salem I think still says like 11 years.
I know, and it's dirty too. It's
To
actually,
be logged on and updated. Yeah, so that would be great. All right. What else for natural state? Anything else to talk about? Volunteers, exhibitors? Yes.
Do we need to approve the spending for the?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
How do y'all feel about the number of 700? That move about,
Again, if it's not enough, we can come back and ask the board for more.
well, but this is our, no.
Oh, well, we can't because this is our only
We
meeting.
can't.
Ah,
This is
never
our last
mind.
meeting before.
That seems reasonable, especially if we're
so
not,
with that,
especially if we're not ordering shirts, that
Well, do
seems
we need to
reasonable.
discuss
we said
that?
175 for the, okay, I'm looking at the annual.
Do we need to discuss first what,
Amy, do you want to
which one of these
share?
items?
I
Yeah.
think that would help steer us
Yes.
to know what we need to do budget-wise.
And before we
I
talk
have-
about giveaways, too, sorry. Now, I'm saying for this particular event, but bearing in mind, if we do a large order of, let's say, handkerchiefs or stickers, some of that is Arbor Day
carried
money.
over to-
Some of that is the tree climbing competition, so that we can kind of play with the numbers a little bit there, because it behooves us to do a larger order than a smaller one, so we'll dip into both of those. Okay, sorry. And Amy did get some quotes for us.
Okay, so we had a large variety of things that we were interested in looking at. And you'll be able to see each component, it has their own box, and many of them have expensive options. The numbers that I wrote down for quantity start at the smallest quantity that we can get. So some things that I want you to know about as you're looking at this, there are pictures of each item on the back so that you can get a better understanding of what it would look like, of course, with our logo or something like that. Let's see, the cheapest things, I believe, are going to be the pins and buttons, the stickers. There was something else that I thought was,
The carabiner,
the carabiner.
Is that
You
one
talked
of the
about specifically with the tree ID and measuring around the trees and all those things. We also have a carabiner that comes with a 6-foot measuring tape. So I thought that would be kind of cute.
well, okay, keep in mind,
But this carabiner
Tape.
is gonna be this size,
it's gonna be tiny.
3-inch max.
the one with the tape measure?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
On the tape measures.
Yep.
There's a difference between just a regular tape measure and a diameter tape.
Gotcha.
They're completely
Oh,
different, yeah.
You have to do algebra.
Yeah, they're, personally, I don't think that would be worth the expense
Okay.
myself, because it won't be in the right measurement.
Context.
Yeah. it won't be in the right measurement.
Okay,
I
so
personally like stickers.
I do too.
yes,
I was gonna,
stickers are great. And if you'll look at the price of the stickers, if you'll go down to the second box, we have the clear 3-inch right there and the vinyl bumpers that are the 3x11. You'll look at the amounts and they significantly go down in price. So if that's gonna be something that we like for the course of the year, that would be the way to go.
I was
Best
gonna,
bang for the buck.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
gonna suggest the clear stickers, we get 500.
Yeah.
I suppose it has to be all the same design.
But
Yeah.
that would
we have to
also.
agree on a single design.
That's okay.
That would take up the rest of our budget for that event, but if we shift that to a different event's budget, that would be fine.
Well, I was thinking if this is just my
Well,
suggestion.
part of it, yeah.
Everybody likes stickers to put on their
Yes.
water bottles, their computers, whatever. I don't think bumpers, most people are not wanting bumper stickers
No.
on their vehicles.
Okay.
Round stickers are really.
If, I was looking at the cost of the carabiners here. The one with the bottle opener, if we ordered 250, that would get us pretty close to the $700. Now, that's just my suggestion. I like those kind of things. Yeah, with
With the bottle.
the bottle opener. They come in handy. But I mean, that's
But it's
just
a
my.
very small area to put any. like,
Yeah,
logo.
I was gonna say, if you did that, if you did something like that, you probably just need to direct them to our
Conway Tree Board.
website or Conway Tree Board or something.
Another one of the ideas that several people kept bringing up is a bag so that people could have
Yeah.
things within Toad Suck and wherever that they were gonna gather things. The drawstring sports bag is a very popular item,
Yeah.
and it's rather cheap.
Yeah, and reusable.
That's a good one.
The plastic ones are cheap, but I definitely do not want to get plastic
plastic
bags.
Yeah.
So the
The whole time I was
yeah,
looking
the
at that, I'm
drawstring
like,
ones
oh,
are the drawstring ones are pretty good.
Stickers and drawstrings would probably be great if you wanted to put a logo. Is that with the logo or?
I believe that is with
yes.
one color.
Yeah, so it's green, okay.
Yeah, it's single color.
That would be,
And the times here, you'll see 6 days next to the drawstring bag and stickers 1 day for the clear vinyl. That's production time. According to how long it takes to get to us in Conway, it'll take about 4 days. So we're talking about a week.
So it might actually have a local vendor who has a better price on this.
Yeah, I wanted to check
Okay.
with
I want
Diremark.
to say, I think last year we got a better deal through them for something like this, and we can do options.
this has
I
to
think
be,
we did rolls of 100 and 3 different options.
So-
Were they vinyl stickers though, or were they not? I was
I
never
think
sure.
they're vinyl stickers, aren't they?
If you got one on.
Yeah, I've got it's whatever this is.
Washable?
We'll have to, but I'll double check, because these are good, but we might be
Oh, yeah.
able to save some money.
So, and I wanna keep, I think we need to keep in mind that
Yeah,
we're not
this is one of the
promoting
old
the
ones,
tree
too.
board
We've got newer
with
ones
these,
since then.
we're
which I don't
promoting
have
the
on here.
trees.
Okay.
I mean, they're
So
quality,
like if there's
faded
something that all we
old.
can do is put
Yeah.
our logo on, I don't think that accomplishes what we want to. Okay. I mean, our mission is to promote trees and the importance of trees in our communities. So,
What would you like to?
I mean, a lot of the sticker ideas and, we just, some of the messages that we've used in the past, and these ideas are good.
I don't
So-
know.
I think it's important to ensure that the tree board does get recognized, that they're the ones responsible for the content that comes forward.
And there often is like a little,
Yeah, I think on the ones that I just did like Conway Tree Board or like hashtag Conway Tree Board, and then Skylar was even like putting like the logo.
and the logo's
Yeah.
fine,
So-
like that's okay, but I think these items, like a sticker or a bag where we have more space to have a message, that's what I'm trying to say, is I think we want a message.
so what is the process with the city now? We put a proposal together for what we would like to buy, and then they put it out for bid?
No.
Is that how that works?
Well, because our cost falls under that
It's so
requirement to do that. So I think really we just find what we want and we get the invoice and they pay it for us.
Do we need to get 3 bids?
Sound right? I mean, that's what.
That sounds right.
So, sorry,
Do we need to get 3 bids?
not for the cost that.
Okay.
Not for
Don't-
these.
That's
types of
usually
things.
for
this
a
amount.
larger expense.
But I would like, if there's somewhere that we know we can get a better deal, if we can support local, 100% down with that, I would
And there's
prefer
a
to do
cheaper
that. But there are certain
Yes.
things that even if we go to our local printers, they're outsourcing them anyway.
Yeah.
On some of these things. So,
I just know on the multiple items that I had, I did not want to get 3 quotes for
no, you're.
each of these options. I
Yeah.
wanted to
I don't
wait
think
till we
have to do
had
that
what we wanted.
with this amount.
I think we used Diremark before, and they're just right over here.
Mhm.
And
I like the idea of the sport bag and stickers.
So,
Because there's also just more space to put a message.
You get a message. And I think the message and always directing them back, if they've got that hashtag or see the city, they go to our website, they find out what it's about.
And the great thing about the stickers is like you put them on a cup or a water bottle or anything you want to put it on, a computer.
so you could
Phone
do,
case.
you could do 250 bags for roughly $355 if you did the stickers for 345, so that puts you right at the.
I'm a big fan of the handkerchiefs, does no one else like that? That's
I do
okay
too, the
if you don't.
bandanas.
But-
I
you don't
think
have to do
the
it.
design we already have is really nice.
Yeah.
And we still have a bunch of those left, don't we?
No,
Oh,
they
do
are
we not?
gone. They
Oh,
went
okay.
there.
Well, the only-
Because they're super cute.
And they're function, so to me, I don't want anything that will go in the trash.
Exactly.
Because I think, like, stickers are gonna get used, sports bags, if not used, they go in the donation pile, which then goes somewhere else, but it's not something that ends in
Again, I think the
trash.
arborists would like the handkerchief.
And the handkerchiefs are functional, they're good for volunteer, and again, it doesn't have, this budget seems very small, what we're trying to accomplish with the tree climbing championship, but those we can use at yoga, we can use at Arbor Day, we can use for volunteer efforts, and so those can kind of dip in the collective budgets of all the events.
Can you get them cheaper? I mean, these
That's
are
again,
pretty
we
expensive.
wanna check with-
we wanna
check
These
with-
are pretty expensive
Can we
compared to.
When
Who
can I
made them
see
last
what
time?
y'all
If you're approaching
are talking about.
$2,500, then let me know.
In this, okay, is that the number we need to stay on?
That's.
What's the number?
Or advise at
If you get
25,
close to $2,500, then.
then it's a different story, okay, gotcha.
Where can I see the,
I think Tracy's got the design for the handkerchiefs.
And,
Who did that for us, do we
Rock
know?
City Outfitters did it,
Okay.
but they're bound by
Oh,
a
right.
certain space. I think it's 13 by 13, so that's what caught me, these 14 by 14. But it could be that we can just find a place to purchase bulk hankies and go there and go, and no, can we? Because I've seen them like $1 a piece. And I don't know what's required to get them at that wholesale price, but this wasn't recent, but it's been several months, but I did like that there was a 14 by 14 size. The dog ones are good, but they're so expensive, so we're gonna stay away from this, because that's just a excess. Okay, all right, so we think bags, stickers, and what else, hankies, did y'all say something else?
and I know there was some interest in the carabiner with the bottle opener as well, if there was.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
I can withdraw that.
No, hang on to it, because it may be,
Yes.
Doesn't mean we have to
Again,
use it for
I use
this
them with
event.
something functional.
I use them with keys all the
I use
time.
them too.
I do too.
So it's about the use,
Put them
okay,
on my backpack,
perfect.
so whatever.
All right.
We all have one.
So, okay, so now can we look at budgets? How are we doing on time?
5:35.
Okay, so I know you have any, or something to add also. Okay, so in terms of budget for Natural State Tree Climbing Championship, I think donating the banners, and we need to make a decision, so we won't make their t-shirts, I don't think you have to donate $600 to be on their t-shirts, I don't know if what we're doing in kind and supporting plus the money in the banner, hopefully we'll make the t-shirt, but if not, I think really all we can afford is to do those 2 banners for this
Well, surely.
event.
I think we should ask to.
Surely.
Yeah, we're gonna ask.
We're gonna ask, but
Surely promoting
By
it
the banners as well.
on our page and
I'm sure all of that
And
in kind.
providing the
look at
banner.
putting
value.
the banners up and everything else, and then
Well, and even scheduling some of the Conway stuff.
Well, that marketing as well,
Yeah,
it
it's
exceeds that
marketing.
amount, so I feel pretty positive, but I don't want to commit them, and the only reason I mention that is by April 6th, we've got to let them know, which is why I wanted to vote today, if we want to make the print for the t-shirt. So, but I think all right, how do we feel about $700 for commitment to this one event?
That's good to me.
I was gonna say, so the 700 includes the banners, and then are we ordering?
But what we'll do is if
Not
we do a
this time?
large order, we will only pull a certain amount. Like we
Okay.
can't use it all. in that event.
Right,
So we will be mindful of what percentage of that budget goes
And
to
some of
what
those
is
other
allocated
places that
to
you were
take. Does that
talking
make
about.
sense? How my brain is kind of working
So
on
do
all
we
of
need to
that?
approve some, like, funds from the Arbor Day budget to go towards this as well?
They will, that and volunteer efforts or any of that, it'll all be
Okay.
divided up. We will save some for later in the year, so that we're
Okay,
not,
okay.
again, so thinking in terms of budget, the spring tree giveaway, we allocated $50. I don't think we even spent that. We bought bags. I don't know if you bought anything else. We're a little under budget with that. And then if we can stay in line with the marketing for yogas, we're good. I've allocated $150 towards volunteer supplies and swag for any tree plantings. We're probably only going to have one later this fall. And then also for Arbor Day, $2,000 for that event. And I looked at last year's budget, and that's really doable because most things are in-kind donations or sponsorships for that event. And so I just looked at last year's budget, kind of what we spent on everything. So those were kind of my thought. The other piece that we keep running up against is having just some basic M&O funds. Like we need, for instance, when we didn't get rid of all the trees, our thought was, oh my gosh, they can't go to waste. We need soil and we need pots. How do we pot these up and save them for Arbor Day? And we couldn't make the call because we hadn't had a meeting. We didn't allocate funds for that. And so it would be nice if we could also protect just some of our regular maintenance and operation kind of needs. So I'm thinking $1,000 for that, and those would be used for trunk guards, water bags, shovels, spades, gloves, mulch, soil, anything we may need, portable watering system, potting bags, and also to support any boost of like social media. So when I say marketing fund or marketing for events there, that would be like a boost of a social media post, $30 or something like that.
That
So
would be
I think-
sort of at the,
secret place.
Secret. If y'all have a city secret place, we'll take that too. But pretty low maintenance in terms of what we're storing right now. But so my thoughts are $1,000 for M&O, $2,000 Arbor Day, $700 for the tree climbing championship. We all got it in front of you. But
How would we even boost? I'm sorry, I'm thinking about the way that we.
we pay for it.
Yeah, so with somebody's P card.
They were really. Lauren and Felicia did it like in less than 24 hours last time, so I'm not sure.
Okay, so we won't worry about it.
And we'll be more strategic, understanding that, we are understaffed and hard working folks.
the individuals that were knowledgeable on these processes are not currently with us at this time.
Okay,
Let me get that in a
We used-
recording.
We used to be able to just pay out of pocket and get reimbursed, but they're not allowing that now, so that was a much easier.
so, because it's just to pay it online, like we could just send them the link. I don't know, because I don't do stuff.
I mean, they'll have to put a credit card number into Facebook. Like, that's how it works.
Clarifying. I can see his phone working. Let me clarify with the city what's needed for that, just to protect us, and not to derail, but those are my thoughts on kind of what we might need some, excellent thought. But I'll clarify with the city on how to boost.
So do we want to just go ahead and move to approve the budget as listed here? Anyone
Or
want to
any
move motion?
opposition or
second?
other suggestions before? Okay. You moving?
I'll make the motion. We approve the
Josh is
budget
moving.
as listed here.
Anyone want a second?
Second.
Excellent. Any opposition? All in favor? Aye. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Where are we now? Okay, I did want to share, we're not going to talk about this today, but we did talk about thank you, Scott, for the recommendation, and they were super
Yes.
eager. The forestry school in
This is
Monticello.
fabulous.
I know.
I love this.
So, and just like, this is really, really quick math. What is it like? We have annual tree benefits for the city of Conway of like, what, $5 million per year? We get benefits?
Yeah,
Did I print?
4.5, yeah.
I think we can use it any way we want, right? I think we need to share this on the city's social media.
So I think she sent an email.
Do we have a digital?
Yes, you have a digital copy of this. We do want to share, but I'd say let's wait till May, which Skylar's not here, but let's wait till May. We've got so much going on now through May. It'd be nice to have them. So the professor who led this is going to come and wants to present.
Okay,
it
so
to
wait
the
until
board.
after the.
That's why I'm like, I want y'all to see this because it's super exciting. But
Well, and honestly, in the summer when it starts getting hot is when people appreciate the shade.
So this would be something.
Right now, when tornadoes are knocking down trees, we don't appreciate them as much.
If that makes me think of Office of Emergency Management, like where? So what's the
That's when
plan?
tree care is important to
It's
know about, and
incredibly
keeping your
important.
tree healthy.
Which we do have, we can share some resources, the professors, Urban Forestry Council, can share some, I think, on dealing with storm.
It's your cigar.
Very relevant.
Yeah, it's just over $5 million
And this is
a
the one
year.
I emailed you.
5 million, like 31,000, I just added
About
it all
what
up
do we need to do in
and
advance
change.
for him to present. So,
If he's just presenting,
She's
if he's just presenting you, then if he's wanting to present to like
It's a
city
pretty
council, go ahead, have to go to
cost-effective
the agenda
resource there.
item.
a good savings to the taxpayer, right?
Would it behoove us to do city council instead or present to us? And
I can bring it to
I would love to have
the mayor's office and see.
a Facebook event with the sign, the Tree City USA.
Yeah, when we do that. Or whichever, like for putting up the new one or just for putting up the stickers at one of them or both. Well, we'll figure
We
that out
got the
later.
new one,
Okay, yeah, I like
most
that.
definitely. And there's a secondary part of that, isn't there? It's not just Tree City, it's,
Oh, we got the growth award.
yes. Conway needs to know that they need to celebrate these things.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, that's part of what we can do. And I think, we're, all of this and everything we've been doing is getting us some good footing to build on, right? And so, but really excited about this. Do know he will be here at our meeting in May to present. And then he and the students, I'm assuming, will come and host a table at the tree farming event, which will be great. But this is really cool, very exciting.
Thank you all for your work on that.
Yeah.
I think it was a phone call, right? I'm like,
I see Dr. Pelkey at several other board meetings that I attend, and I asked him about it, and he said, yeah, we'll be glad to do that.
I did like it that their number is the same as what we came up with in 2020 when my daughter did a little study for us, so 26% tree cover. Yeah. 30, did I say 26? 36, sorry.
That's what we've heard. I mean, that's over a third of our land in Conway is covered with trees, which I love.
Yeah, but 40 is the goal.
It's not bad. We're close. We're close.
And we have a lot of historical tree canopy too, which we've seen what's going on with
Unfortunately.
that. And
yeah.
that's just nature. And
Yeah.
protecting that 36 and building on it is good. All right. So we voted on all the things. Chris, you would like to have a moment, sir?
Yes, I have hired a new long-range planner.
Woo!
Hey, great.
Her name is Tara Jackson. She is from Wind Coastal Planning out in California. She lives in Conway now and should be starting, I believe, on April the 27th. But why is that relevant? She's, of course, replacing Kyle. I think you guys know Kyle. But she will be working with this board and among others to work on a comprehensive plan update.
Excellent.
So I think that's one of the goals of this board. So she will be assisting to try to incorporate the goals of the tree board into the overall plan. She's going to start with an audit, so it'll probably be November before we do a kickstart of anything that's really formal or official.
Would you tell me her name one more time?
Tara Jackson.
Tara Jackson.
Okay. She is full of energy and very highly qualified. I think she'll be a fantastic addition to my team.
I'm sure you're really glad to have
I
her.
really am. I need her, and then I need Lauren back, and then everything will be great. So the next one's more of just kind of information. If you do have subcommittees or emails amongst the members of the board, then just remember to follow any FOIA requirements. If you have a subcommittee meeting, then it does need to be publicly announced. if you're gonna have regular meetings of that subcommittee. So if you have any questions on that, you can reach out to my office or the mayor's office through Felicia. I think if you're meeting, just for example, at a meeting, an event, then that's a totally separate thing. That's an incidental meeting. But if you're having a scheduled meeting where you know about it in advance, then we do need to.
So like when we're discussing what we want to do, like our community action committee, so what is a
Yes.
public announcement? Like would that be
You
a
would just-
social media post? Is that website?
I think it would be handled through our offices. We would
Okay.
put it on the website and ensure
Okay.
that the general public gets,
Okay.
goes through the same process that the public meeting for
Does it have to be in a public location then?
We are going to discuss that.
So we've been doing a lot of Zoom meetings, so.
Well, that and the extension office, but we do also do
I
Zoom.
think that the important thing is what's the goal of the subcommittee? Does it have any sort of vote within a subcommittee? If you're doing any sort of votes, then that's one thing. Or if you're discussing what would come to a vote, then that would be a
Yes.
different thing. But if it's a subcommittee meeting, then that is probably still gonna need to be recorded. But I will get with Felicia, and we'll probably get with Tracy and try to figure out if those type of meetings do need to be
Okay.
publicly notified plus recorded.
Okay.
So
Recorded. Okay. And we don't just, for the we don't vote at our committee, but that is where we only, have so much time.
That's when you do the, that's when you do the
Yeah.
We need
planning, that's when
working
you do the work.
meetings to come and present and, for example, they've been doing the stickers and all those
Yes,
things, but
yes.
no voting. So, but okay, good. Thank you for that.
just administrative notes, trying to
To
follow
know
those
that, absolutely.
hard to follow state guidelines. So
Okay, excellent. Anything else for us?
I think that is all I had.
That's good. Okay. Any other topics that I have not spoken to yet? And I know we've got kind of a task list in marketing and I can kind of go over
Yeah.
some of these things we want to.
Urban Forestry Council has a couple of virtual educational seminars coming up. On April 27th, I'll be giving a presentation on tough trees for tough sites. That's at noon, and it's on Zoom. It's free, so we can also market that through our social media.
You've already shared it once, but we'll do it right before you.
And then the second one they're doing is May 18th. It's hazardous tree identification and management. And that's also at noon, and that's Harold Fisher with the Arkansas Forestry Division will be presenting.
Is it on Zoom too? or is
Also
it-
in Zoom, yeah, and free.
The algorithms, because I'm highly disappointed that the tree board doesn't even pop up very frequently on my own Facebook page. So I want to make sure that the messages get out, especially when I'm sharing it.
Mhm.
And I don't know why it's not.
Is it a page or is it a group?
So business page.
You have a page.
So I think it's, 5 out of 95? Out of every 100, out of every 100 people that log in, then it should reach out to 5 of those people.
Yeah, which is, yeah.
Well, I know with our tree giveaway, we did not get the traction, like the social media traction that we got last year, and it's always baffling to me. And then, like, I reshare on a different page something about the Conway High School plant sale, and like it got like 2,000 views, and like our main post gets nothing. You know?
For my business, I've never found boosting posts on Facebook to do any good.
Well, these aren't even boosted.
Oh, you're talking about just regular ones, okay.
Yeah.
I just want to be more effective in how I can do that.
It's a mystery, and they want to keep us.
It really is, it literally, they do want to keep us guessing and paying money.
You can always chat with Bobby, and he should be able to give you some pointers, tips, and assistance on that.
Okay. Okay. Look, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna, one quick note, it's, on the stickers, I know these would show up really fast. But if there's enough time for approval and waiting for it to be delivered and everything, There's a website called Sticker Mule. Yeah, great quality.
Yes.
Vinyl stickers. They have good UV protection, all that. That
I got that
500
one down
count
sticker mill
number.
right there.
Yeah, so like that 500 amount. For if it's a 3-inch circular sticker, you'd be paying like $195, about $200 basically. If you have enough
So
time
less
to
than
wait for
50
it to show you.
Yeah, and they used
Yeah.
From them.
in the past, I don't
So-
know, I've not looked lately, but they used to run, if you were in their email list, they would run regular specials too, where you could get a good deal on the stickers.
So comparatively a lot more time to wait, but I think notably cheaper and definitely good quality.
Okay, good.
Something to look into.
If you can get your artwork
Okay.
to them, it doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
No.
What was the other business, the local business?
Diremark,
Diamark.
they're right over here. If you know where Fast Photo used to be, they're in that building. Yeah. Same building. It used to be Hobby Badge way back in the day next door, but that's
That we wanted to
been
have omitted.
30 years. Something.
This is small,
I should just leave these lying here.
and I might
Yeah.
already taken them.
Thank you, There's some other stuff.
Yeah, and those are just for the learning competition, just some education.
Sticker that we want to,
Well, let's look at the prices
Yeah.
for the other ones.
then when?
With Diremark, we may be able to get
Multiple. Because we've done that in
still
the
get the
past.
still get the 500 total. We get like 5 different designs.
You're ready to give that
Mountains and
information to the committee and
I want to
then,
go to the beach and do.
Yeah,
yoga
provide that to
with
the community action committee.
okay,
Maybe that's what
And then,
Skylar did. I was like, oh,
Because we're gonna be the ones
That's
making the
the first
decision, well, not making the decision, we are making the decision on which
I will say there
design to
was
in a landlocked state.
All these designs have been
one
approved.
of the yoga ones is there's a really difficult yoga pose, and I didn't know if we wanted to make it look like it would
Oh,
be
I think is it the one where it's just a one person?
Yeah, and she's upset.
Yeah.
She.
I think that might be one Skylar did.
really.
It's like it's an almost impossible yoga pose, and I don't want to make
think it's like
people.
with the
I don't want to
leg.
make people think that it's hard yoga because it's not. It's easy, beginner, all
Very
levels
easy.
yoga.
Because there's like for everyone. There's a little bit of inclusion there.
Diversity,
Yeah, I really
right there,
like
and I
this
don't feel
one.
like I
You
have
will
to be a
not be
skinny
re-
person to be a part of it.
And they look a little easier. This one
I
would be
think
a little bit
easy.
more difficult, but
That partial lunge right there, I'm with it.
we can do a partial lunge.
Sounds
Yeah, I
exhausting.
like the one with the different people on it,
I liked it.
yeah, that
I
one.
liked it.
What we talk about. I
Yeah.
like that one too.
That's a good one. Anyway,
All right.
yeah, just provide us,
Any other
action
business we
committee
need
with
to
the
discuss, because this is it, then it's
prices.
game on, but action committee, we're gonna need to have something else before then. So is there a time that's good this week or next week that we can?
How soon can you
I
get
can't
the,
really do like middle of the day anymore. Okay, that's my only thing. Is
I can
just
work
think
around.
anything after 4:30 is perfect.
Okay.
The problems that
After
solve
4:30.
themselves.
Yes.
The 5th and the 9th, I cannot.
Our next tree board meeting is May 1st.
Okay, so we will get back this collective group and we'll go before we do that. So, okay. Motion to adjourn.
yeah, seconded?
And also, congratulations, you have a new role and
Yes.
position.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you. Yeah, all right.